For you to successfully win against a narcissist in any situation, you have to accept that you are not going to get any kindness from them. You cannot expect amicability, cooperation, and mutual understanding. You will be a fool if you believe they will be truthful. Why? Because it's a battle for them, and they are going to punish you, destroy you, and harm you in whatever way possible. So, what do you do in a situation like this? You play mind games, not to harm them, but to protect yourself. And how do you know what you're doing is working? What you are doing is actually making them lose. Let's find out in today's episode. Hi, I am Danesh, a narcissistic abuse recovery professional. In today's episode, we are going to know about 5 signs that you have successfully tricked and defeated the narcissist. If that sounds interesting, stay until the very end, because sign number 5 is going to sum it up all. That's the biggest sign. Number 1, you have filled that narcissist's head with wrong information. You have created wrong narratives, not to harm them, but to protect yourself. You cannot be transparent to a person who remains mysterious and secretive throughout the relationship. You cannot tell them what your plans are, what you are going to do next, and how you are going to target them, because they want that information to prepare a counter strategy. So, what would you want to do? You would want to keep your cards close to your chest. You would want to lie to them. I understand. Some of you may argue and say, well, doesn't that make you a narcissist? Why do you have to lie? Let me ask you this. What other options do you have? You tell me. You're dealing with an extremely manipulative personality type. You're dealing with a dangerous person who doesn't have a living conscience, doesn't have a working moral compass, and can destroy you. How else can you cope? And these lies are not harming them. These lies are only protecting you. So you have to put information in their head that makes them think they're great, they're amazing, or that you have got no clue, that you are just powerless in the situation. Let me give you an example. Let's say you tell a narcissist, I love you so much that I can't live without you even for a second. You have to sound desperate. What will your desperation do? That will make them feel powerful. Oh, see, he or she seeks me. I must be really important. And what will they do in response? They will want to abandon you. They will want to punish you. They will want you to chase them. Isn't that the goal? Isn't your freedom the ultimate need of yours that you want to fulfill? They will abandon you, and abandonment is what you want. Yes, please abandon me. Yes, leave me alone. Yes, don't talk to me. But you don't have to act like you're enjoying it. You have to act like you're struggling and suffering. Meanwhile, deep down, you have to know that you have got them living in their fantasy world. That is how you fool a narcissist in an ethical way. Before I move to number 2, a quick announcement. The biggest workshop of this year is happening in the upcoming month. This workshop will help you understand how you can actually heal from narcissistic abuse in 5 practical steps. It will be a 2-day intensive workshop that will only happen once a year and may not ever happen again, because there are reasons. If you want to secure your spot, be ready, keep your notifications on, and you will be informed soon. Number 2, you have mastered the art of giving them drip supply. What is drip supply, you ask? Well, it is giving them tiny, teeny bits of your attention, admiration, validation, positive emotions, or even anger, or something else, to make them think they are in charge and in control. By nature, narcissists are chasers. They don't love abundance. So you have to weaponize that trait against them by conditioning their nature. How so? By giving them enough attention to keep them coming back. Now you will ask me, why would you want them to come back? By that, I don't mean that you would want them to stay in your life. No. What I mean by that is you will be able to keep them at an arm's length. You will be able to keep them satisfied enough to not to destroy you fully if they have that kind of power in your situation. At times you have to act like you're struggling and suffering in your life. You have got no energy whatsoever because that's something they want. That's called sadistic pleasure from your suffering. So you have to make them think you are clueless. Meanwhile, you have to prepare for a mega exit. I'm asking you to be unpredictable. They're no longer able to push your buttons. It's the opposite. You know how to push the buttons, not to harm them, but to make them act in a way that only serves you and your freedom. Sign number 3, you have fooled that narcissist into thinking you are a fool, you're dumb, and you have zero intelligence. You have fooled them into thinking you cannot understand legal jargon, you do not know how mechanisms, processes, and systems work, you don't know about life, you are completely dependable on them and they'll decide what happens next. You are no more revolting or rebelling. You're not proving yourself, you're not showing them that you know what you're talking about, you let them do the talking. And deep down, you observe everything like a dispassionate observer, a curious observer who takes the information and uses it to plan the strategy, whether it is to defeat them, whether it is to get your finances set, get your money back, or to exit safely with your children. So that's how you use their arrogance against them. Sign number 4, you have convinced them that your silence is your weakness, while as your silence is your superpower. That is the ultimate answer. You remain silent in most situations, which is called grey rocking, but you mix it with a little bit of dizziness, you mix it with a little bit of disorientation. Like I explained earlier, you gift them your silence. Your silence in this situation is your superpower because you would want them to do all the talking. You would want them to tell you what they are going to do to you. You would want them to tell you who they are going to hire against you. You would want them to tell you what goes on in their mind and how they could possibly attack you. By remaining silent, you remain 2 steps ahead. How so? Well, if you talk and talk and talk, 1, you'll be giving information. 2, they'll be able to get supply from you. And that makes them think, oh, they can drive you nuts. You would want to play with their emotions a little bit because when you give them silence, it's not silent treatment, it's just disconnecting yourself from them when you need to. When you know you cannot talk because whatever you may say could be used against you. It is your silence that makes them behave in ways that backfire. Number 5 and the last one, you have risen from your ashes like a phoenix. That narcissist thought they have finished you. That narcissist thought the game is over. But you have proved that no, it's not. It's not, it never will be. Because you have resilience, you have the gift of strength, you persevere, and you have the true willingness to keep moving forward. Yes, I know it's tiring, I know you may not want to do it, but that's who you are, which is why you're listening to me today. It is the biggest sign because your rising is the ultimate defeat for that narcissist. They thought they were done with you, now you would never ever come back from that darkness. You would never ever be able to find yourself again. But you have proven them wrong by doing the work that you have done, by healing your wounds, by working on the core origin of your traumas, which in many cases is a person's childhood. On the other hand, that narcissist is always going to be as miserable as they are today and even more because they're not looking within. They're not trying to take a step back and ask themselves, who is the common denominator here? Why me? They always turn it around and blame it on the other person, which is how they twist things and how they rewrite stories. And they're going to be stuck in that perpetual state of victimhood until they are here in this physical world. and even after, because misery is their beginning and it is their end as well. So that is the biggest defeat. You have chosen a different path, and you have used their presence in your life as a catalyst to move forward and to become the most authentic version you can ever be. That was number 5. You tell me if I missed any sign. If you would like to add more to what I said, drop everything in the comments below. And with that, let's bring this episode to an end. Thank you so much for listening. I will talk to you in the next one. Until then, as always, let the healing begin and continue.